Konnichiwa, welcome friends to another video. Yes, another arrival, which actually, truth be told, it isn't actually here yet. It's due to arrive today, but I wanted to try something else. We're going to start with something else first, actually, rather than me just waffling, as like the last video. And yes, Evo, thank you for your comment on that one. Yes, the style of having a high cab with room to open the doors at the front predates, I think it's by a year or 2 years before the first Dutch one. But that response wasn't meant as a, well, actually, it's this. It's just like, yeah, did you know this sort of thing? Yes, I just wanted to sort of cover that, just to sort of say, look, I wasn't being funny about it. Just, yeah, it's a comment I get a lot, and it just sort of like, yes. Actually, you know, the Japanese had it first. So rather than it being a Japanese coploper, the Dutch have a it's a Dutch series. Oh blimey, I'm trying to remember what the first one was now. Was it the? It's one of the early ones. There's a 483 or something like that. But yeah, it goes right back. But yeah, I think it's really cool. It's all fun, but it's the same solution. Well, similar solution to be found to the same problem, isn't it? Of how do you have a unit that has good driver visibility rather than being off to one side, but still can have a corridor connection? And there's a few different ones in the collection here that will show that. But so just a brief touch on the micro layout, or not the micro layout, but the smaller layout for exhibition. I've actually made a decision this morning, whilst having a bit of a think about it, having breakfast and that, and thinking, do you know, I've done this one in Kato track, and it does a bit of a, it's not just here's Japanese trains, here's something different. It's also here's Kato Unitrack. Okay, there's no turnouts on this one, but here's Kato Unitrack. This is how, you could easily set this layout up to be British, American, German, French, Dutch, Belgium. Provided you can get the stock, you just change the scenery and you can make this layout whatever. And of course, as you good people know, I do run some UK trains on this. I have a German steam engine over there, which isn't the healthiest. It's been my first letdown I've ever had from a Fleischmann. It really is not. Yeah, when you first use it, smoke comes out of it, and then it settles down for a bit, but it can't be good. So I don't use it now. I think it possibly needs a new motor. It's a BR78. It's the 464 tank, Prussian original. I think they're originally Prussian State Railways. But anyway, I'm digressing here. But yeah, so, and I thought, well, I've got a bit of Atomics track on there, and I thought, what about if I did it the other way around? Well, I did a layout which was, hey, you might see my other one, that's a Kato one. This is Atomics track, and this is the difference. This is this is what you get with this. So I'm thinking about looking at that route. I'm gonna, whilst I wait for the, because I'm lucky to be being on leave all this week to recover from basically NEC through to end of Severn Valley show, and I've needed it. Oh my lord, I've needed it. Yesterday, my body yesterday morning, the night into the morning, body sort of decided, oh, I can actually get some rest back, I can get some sleep back, and I actually did sleep, which was kind of good. But anyway, so whilst I wait for it, I'll be having a further tinker. I did have a brief tinker with Atomics track, but I'll have a further tinker with it and see what we can do. Now, obviously, I'm going to have to order that all from Japan, as opposed to here where I could order my track from Train Tracks. Yeah, I just thought, actually, you know what, it might be rather fun to have a go. On the subject of Atomics, now, the big thing with Tomic stuff, and it'll affect the engine we're about to see. We're about to start the video off with today. I did say no waffle, didn't I? Oh well, here we go. Is that the Tomic's knuckle couplings that they supply with their locos and that don't play nicely with Kato ones, which is a bit of a shame because Kato I found will play with Dapol and microtrains. The easy shunts and microtrains. Now, there's one argument that says, well, you leave all your couplings with the standard Arnold style, as I believe they're actually called rather than Rapido couplings. There seems to be more references I've seen on the continent and, well, mainland Europe and from Japan in that, calling them Arnold style couplings. There probably is a right and a wrong to that, but I prefer to Rapido couplings because then you get confused between Rapido Trains Canada, Rapido Trains UK, and the fact that this is a totally different Rapido again. It's, yeah. Whereas Arnold, you've only got the Hornby brand, but it is an Engage brand at least, so, you know, hey. Anyway, in scale, actually, that one is. That's in scale. But, yeah, an argument to leave it with those, but they don't look great. To me, having now experienced what I can do with the Kato couplings, knuckles. Now, of course, there's two schools of thought. One is you have, well, there's three different ways to tackle this. One is you don't change any couplings at all and leave everything with Arnold couplings. Two is you have a fleet of stock for Arnold couplings and one for your knuckle couplings, and do what I was starting to do, is you just buy units from Tomics and that, because the manufacturers, because then I can guarantee I can still play with those alongside my Kato ones, and yeah. But I don't like that. I don't like that. I've called myself, in the last video, I called myself a Kato fanboy, but I don't want to be in a way. In some regards, you know, yes, I've met Mr. Kato several times now, very luckily. And I do love their products, but Tomics also are making some fantastic products, and the best one to show that is that one there. You know, as standard, it comes with all the interior lighting, the carpet colours. It is one stunning model, that one. And the quality of running from the Premier, I think they call it the Premier Series, the Omi line, EMU, again, just such a stunning model. And I don't want to sort of cut my nose off to spite my face, as it were. So, yeah, so, you know, I don't really want to be missing out on their locos and that if they're going to start doing it, because I've seen, again, saw a video today, some really cracking innovations coming along from Tomics with so for those who watched the last video, there's the headboard, which I said on that one's painted on, because it is on the real one. But on the original units that had that headboard in the middle, they've got one now where it rotates and you can change the headboard without having, but it's motorized, so you don't have to actually open it up or anything. You press a button and it does it all through analog. Amazing stuff, right? And it's sort of these sorts of things. Like, they're going to start doing this stuff. I kind of want to be on board with this. I want to be there with this. This is cool stuff. You know, this is going to really help bring your modern railways to life that bit more. So yes. So option 3, which is the one I'm sort of going with at the minute, is that I have converter wagons or converter cars. So either, I think this is going to be the easiest way in some regards, because the Tomics stuff comes with its own knuckles. Wonderful. Superb, nothing wrong there. The Tomics rolling stock is quite easily convertible to Kato knuckles. So if I put a Kato knuckle at one end and a Tomics one at the other end, we now have a converter car. And so just for sake of example, let's pick a service. So C57 180, I believe, doesn't just pull the Banetsu Montegeri. It I think it also has pulled the Series 12 cars, the blue ones I've got. Well, those are Cat-owned and they're Loco's Tomics. Now, if I put the knuckle on the back of the Tomics one, but then I got the first, if I tracked down the Tomics first car of that set, then, yeah, do that one with the Cato one end so it can connect to the others, and the Tomics the other end so it can connect to it. So when I run it with the Tomics Loco, I put that one on rather than the Cato lead car, and off it goes. That's something I'm going to think about more. Only trouble is, we have more manufacturers, and one of them is Micro Ace. And this is the engine we're going to be starting with today. And I didn't mean this to be nearly 11 minutes long, but hey, this is the engine we're going to be starting with today. It is a 282 steam engine. As you can see though, Arnold coupler at the back. Let's just get her out. Let's get it out because it's bitted and tipping it. So yeah, it's got an Arnold coupling that end. Now, looking at that, that should not be too difficult to replace with a Cato one actually. So yeah, but there's Popendetta and there's help me out here, Green Max as well. And I don't think Green Max have made many Locos. I think they tend to be units, so we're okay there anyway. But when it comes to locomotives, I want the flexibility. Now, I'm sure, I know Sugarman came up with an option to, I'm going to pop this on the railer, because I haven't run this for a while, and I seem to remember it didn't run that well last time. Because this is a brand new one. I've got another D52, which is second hand, and that one's never run right, and in fact the motor's been taken out of it. It wants remotoring, that's all. But I was going to see if this one would run, because I have got a memory of it running as well. That's the weird thing. So yes, but we'll come to the D52 in a minute. Yeah, so Sugarman found a way of making the knuckles work, and I was talking to someone about it, and he went, yeah, I wouldn't rely on it. It's good, it works, but I wouldn't rely on it. What's that? Oh. And there is the front coupling for the Micro Ace one. I really don't like these. These are... It slots onto the front of the... actually stops where the coupling should be on the... Can't really call it a buffer beam, but, you know, it's the plate that's bent down like that, where the coupler would be normally, but floppy that is. There's nothing to centre it again. Not the most reliable thing in the world, but yeah. So yeah, not to rely on it. And I think, well, there must be a way where you don't have to... There must be a way where you can make it all work together nicely. But yeah, but I suppose it's either you fit them with the Tomics couplers at one end and the Cato at the other end, or you do a Cato at one end and leave all the Tomic stuff as Arnold style, so that whatever else other Locos you get, they can also make use of them. But yeah, I would be open to thoughts on that one. That's one I'm actually saying I'll be open to thoughts. But anyway, we do have a Tomics train to look at in a bit, and I'm going to be getting another one out to run with it once it's arrived. Have a bit of a Tomics running session today, I think. But first up, we're going to look at a Micro Ace. We're going to look at the D52. Yeah, I'll see you at the track. So, here we are at the track, and once again, I want to apologise for the 10-minute waffle at the beginning there. What I've actually come to the conclusion is I'll release this as another video, and then we'll do a start over for the Tomics arrival later on today. There is another school of thought I've just had on it, is that I just have two separate rolling stock collections, but that just seems ridiculous. You're doubling your efforts just to... there's got to be simpler ways to solve it, but yes. Right, so I'm just going to pull this down towards the track here. Right. wheels on. So, just briefly, that is a rather nice image of it. Oh, sorry. D52 was a 282. This is one of only 3 post-war Steam designs that were approved, and the boiler on it was only used on these, and then some of them were taken from these, or withdrew some of these engines, taken from these and put onto the C62s, one of which would later go on to break and still holds this day the record for narrow gauge steam, and the E10 210-4 tanks, of which I've got multiple models of both, and I think the Atomic train has just arrived. I think it's just at the door downstairs, so hopefully that means that the parcel's arrived. Yeah, basically built primarily for heavy freight, but they were seen pulling passenger trains. They were quite a bit of a mixed traffic beast, like their smaller sibling, the D51. But yes, I was just hoping I might coax it into action today, because it would be rather fun to have some running videos of it pulling wagons and to be able to use it at shows as well. So let's give it a whirl. Turn the power up. Ooh, that's pretty. Sorry, you're gonna have to try. You have to a little bit of wobble as I take another picture here. There we are. Oh, we've got movement. We had movement. Go on. It's a bit grindy, but then bear in mind it hasn't been used for a while. It's been used for a while. I was right, it was the Atomic train being delivered. But that's working. As you can hear, it's quite noisy, but not unusable. It's not unusable, it is running nicely, that. I think with a bit of running in, or a bit more running time, it would actually be quite a good runner. So yeah, let's slow it down to come through the station. We'll get a nice slow running shot of it coming past. I don't know if the tail light comes on, or the backup light comes on. No. Look at that, straight away now it's had a chance to move. That's actually really rather good, isn't it? Yeah. Nothing wrong with that logo. This is good to know. This is really good to know. Well, that was worth getting out to have a go with, wasn't it? Because, yeah, you know, it clearly is a very slightly noisy. That little grinding sound's gone away now. Yeah, it's not the most high fidelity model in the world. But that's not bad. And I have to say, at that point, comparative when I first set it off, I had the power turned up almost all the way around to get it moving initially. It is now operating in the lower ends where I'd expect them to operate of the power range on the controller. So yeah, that is rather super. That right. Well, oh, what's this? A bit of copper, that. That's a coupling. That's a piece of coupling copper, that. Put that there. But yes. So, with that, we can safely say the D52 is in the running fleet. And I'll wrap this one up because it sounds like I've got another video to make, doesn't it? So, yes, could be a couple from me today. This one and the next one. So, yes, open to comments on what people's thoughts on the coupling situation should be, what the solution should be there. The only one I'm not keen on, or the two I'm not keen on really now are ignoring the atomic stuff or building two separate fleets. I think I am going to go down the route of converter cars. It's just whether to leave Arnold ones on or not, because like I say, I think this one should be quite easy convertible to a Cato knuckle. So Micro Ace we can always count out already. So yeah. Right. Till next time. Arigato gozaimasu. Take care all, and sayonara.